to movie reviews from a drawing table. I am, as always, Brian, and today I'm going to talk about the 1968 classic Barbarella. So, I believe that some movies are considered timeless. Doesn't matter when they're filmed, it doesn't matter what the aesthetic is or anything. You could watch it and kind of in your mind put it into your time, your era. Like say it's from 1968. Certain things in the movie, you could just put it into your time. You could watch the whole movie and be like, that could easily, been filmed now, or it could take place now. Some are just locked in their time, and Barbarella, in my opinion, is definitely one that's locked in time. So it was based on a comic book by, I know it's Jean-Claude Forest. This is all French comic book that ran from 62 to 78. 1962 to 1978. It's considered the first adult comic, although the Tijuana Bibles had been around since, it come out in the 20s, so, people kind of moving loose and fast with that. And while I haven't read it, I'm pretty sure it's just as the movie. It's probably just like the movie, which starring Jane Fonda, who at the height of her, I guess, sex appeal, and I think this was probably just before the whole Vietnam thing. I'm gonna get into it. She was married to the director at the time, and she wasn't actually the first. She wasn't the only one they chose. Wanted. They wanted. Let's see, Bridget Bardot, who didn't want to do an over sexualized character. Sophia Loren was approached, but she was pregnant at the time, so she didn't want to do it. So it's kind of a flint, it's a bare bones concept. She's like this space cop or something who's tasked with chasing down a mad scientist named Durand, with a D at the end of each Durand. And yes, this is where Duran Duran got their name from. She flies, to the planet that he's on. She crash lands, meets the hairiest, horniest guy on the planet, has relations with him. And if you've ever seen Demolition Man, let's just say the way she talks going into it, you kind of get you kind of understand. Then she meets Pygar, who is basically Hawkman, blind, mind you, and it's so psychedelic. It is locked in the '60s, where everybody's view of maybe of even the future, where they go love, peace and love, peace and love. Would have been nice if that had stuck around, but it didn't. Uh, the characters are interesting to say the least. Uh, Not like anybody would know this, but Marceau, a famous mime prior to this was his first ever speaking role. Uh, it's an interesting movie. Did I like it? I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Maybe if I'd seen it as a kid, and I probably, like whenever I saw Flash Gordon, maybe I would have liked it if I'd seen it earlier. But instead, age does bad things to us all. Bad backs, bad knees, changes our taste in movies. It's very psychedelic, very psychedelic. The special effects, there's a lot of miniature work. There's a lot of that oil, paint, water. You should be on acid to really enjoy it. I would put it in a double feature with Flash Gordon, but I would start with Barbarella, then end with Flash Gordon. End on a high. Let's see. Oh yeah. So there's a lot of nudity in this, and believe it or not, this was rated PG. 1968's version of PG. Wild West. So after Star Wars, Paramount decided, okay, let's re-edit it and release it again. So there's a version out there called Barbarella, Queen of the Universe. That came out I think 77, 78, where they edited out all of the nudity, which honestly was part of the charm of the original. Go figure. Uh, I do love the 1970, the re-release poster because it was done by Boris. Hail to the king, baby. But yeah, I mean, I'll recommend it as part of a double feature. Like I said, throw Flash Gordon on afterwards. So really, I'll give it 3 popcorn buckets. Middle of the road. Not my favorite. I'll I'll watch it again. Maybe once I get older, or maybe if they ever legalize marijuana in Texas, I might watch it again stoned. It's on Plex for free. It's on other streaming services that you'll most likely have to pay for. I'm pretty sure if you were to look around on here, you'll probably find it for free. But other than that, it's an all right movie. You know, I'll say go watch it if you haven't already. So I'm going to call it quits there. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for checking this out. I'm on episode 9, well, 10 actually, but my night's review. Still got more to go. So until next time, see you later.